Behringer WING has a pretty good RTA that's built into the EQ page. Let me show you that there's actually a bunch of different settings you can set on that. And to get to it, select a channel and then go into your EQ section. Now, as we can see, this RTA just shows right here on the bottom, but there's actually a couple different options that I can set of how this RTA lays out on my screen. If I go up into settings, I can go and change my RTA settings all right here. So for instance, my RTA source can either be pre-processing or post-processing. I can also set my RTA range to either show 60 dB of range, or I can have it set to show a more finite portion, which is 30 dB of range. Now then the other things that we have is our decay. So I can have a slow release on this, I can have a fast release or decay on this, or a medium. And then the other thing that we have is our RTA detector. I can set to peak, RMS, or averaging. And then we also have this thing called RTA auto gain. Now, if we turn this off, I can actually click into here and adjust the gain of my RTA. So I can set this to a specific value. For instance, I could set this to 40 dB. And so here it is. But we'll notice that if I get super loud in this microphone, we'll see that it starts chopping it off on the top, which is one of the reasons that I love the auto gain. Now then the very last thing that we have is our size and mode. Now if we click into this, there's actually two menus that pop up. One is you can actually turn the RTA off, which I don't suggest, but then we have a quarter, which means that it will actually take up a quarter of the screen of your EQ, and then we also have our 1/3, and then we also have our 1/2, and then we can do an overlay over here on the right. So I can do a third of the range as an overlay, or my favorite is to just do OVL, which is the overlay. But we can also click down into this, we can actually change our color. So here is an amber, and here is a red, for instance. Now, using the RTA is one of my favorite tools when we are doing any sort of EQing. It's very easy to find a piece of feedback because it shows up as a straight line. Or you could even find a problem frequency by just using a little bit of visual cues with the RTA. So hopefully this helps.